Okay, so what we can do now is we'll double click here. We'll change this to left. We'll click OK. Where we have this flip horizontally player no, we'll click here. We'll change this to yes. And then this is set up. We're good to go with programming for our left key button. Okay, let's test this out. So I'll click the preview button. You can see that our variable is 0. So, I see. So we do have to change another thing. So when we press our buttons, they almost work. For our left button, we have this simulate pressing right, which is the same as here. We need to double click here. Change this to simulate pressing the left key button. We'll click OK. We'll click preview. So now we can see our character walks like they're supposed to. However, I'm not pushing the buttons and our character is still moving. So we need to fix that. Okay, that's pretty easy to deal with. We're going to left click here, right click, select copy, left click here, so this is highlighted blue. We'll right click right over to add condition, select paste. We'll go to our left key press, we'll right click, select copy, go to this condition, left click here, see how it's highlighted blue. We'll right click over it, right over where we see add condition, we'll right click, then select paste. Okay, now with that done, we'll go to see what it says, set animation of player to walking. We'll right click, select copy, right click, select paste. Same thing here. We could just copy it. I'm just choosing to go here, copy, paste. So we have this set up. We need to change this so that this is, instead of key is pressed, we need to have this say when the key is released. So we'll double click here. See where this says key release, we'll left click here. Make sure that this condition is not inverted. We'll click OK. So now this says right key is released. Okay. So now we need to do the same thing here. Currently it's set for press. We're going to left click. So now this says released. Make sure this condition is not inverted. We'll click OK. And now we need to click here and we can change this. I could have went in deeper into the settings. I'm choosing to go here. It's just quicker. So by me typing in the actual name of the animation, Gdevelop knows what I'm referring to, that this name is connected to the idle animation, both of for the action here as well as here. Okay, so let's click the preview button. So now when we walk, our character goes back to their idle animation. We can see that our variable is equal to a setting of 0. Okay, you might be saying, okay, after all that, where's the random poses? What are you going to do with that? Okay, we're going to set that up now. So what we're going to do is we're going to click here. So this is highlighted blue. We're going to click this plus button. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click add condition. And what we want to do is set up a timer. So we're going to click timer, timers, and time. Then we're going to select value of a scene timer. Now we have our time in seconds. I'm going to choose this to be 8 seconds. And then for the timer's name, we're going to make up our own name. So I press quotation. So I'm naming this pose, capital T, timer, then putting a quotation around it. So this is our pose timer. I'm going to click OK. Okay, so this time is actually going to be the time in between each random pose. So what we need to do now is click Add Action, go to Common Action for all objects, scroll down to Variables. We need to select Modify a variable of an object. The object that that has the variable on it is player, so we select player. We're going to click the variable. We're going to click for the modification sign, set to. For this setting, we're going to click the blue button. We're going to go to where we see random. We're going to left click on random. We're going to go to random integer in range. We're going to left click there. For this setting, we're going to set this for 1. For this setting, we're going to set this to 4. Then we're going to click done. I'm going to left click. Now I'm going to click OK. Okay, so basically what's set up is every 8 seconds, the variable is going to be changed to equal 1, 2, 3, or 4, right? When that variable is changed to 1, 2, 3, or 4, the animation that goes along with the number that it's set for is the animation it's going to show. Now we do need to add one more thing, and what that is we need to make it so that this timer resets. So this happens, and then once this happens, that the timer then resets. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to click on Add Action. We're going to go to Timers and Time. We're going to go scroll down to where we see Start or Reset a Scene Timer. We're going to enter in the name of our timer, which is Pose, capital T, Timer. Then hold Shift to put a quotation in. We'll then click OK. Okay, so when we press right or left, our variable will be set for 0. There are no poses that are set for 0, so we should be fine as far as walking to the left as well as the right without having to have a random pose try to override the animation of us walking to the left or the right. For the most part, when we let go of right or the let go of the right key or left key, we'll go to an idle animation. This timer is running in the background, so for the most part, you'll go to idle. If you let go right as the timer is approaching to a change, you might go right from an idle right to a random pose. Okay, I'm going to click on the preview button. So when I push to the right, we walk to the right, left, right, left. When I stop, we go to our idle pose. There's our first random pose. There's another random pose. Another random pose. Another random pose. Now when I push to the left or the right, we go right back to walking, then right back to our idle pose. Okay, as far as different games, I really like the different random idle poses they have. I think that random idle poses tend to give a lot of personality to characters in games. Yeah, I like this technique, and I like how easy Gdevelop generally makes things just easy to do. Okay guys, that's it for the tutorial. For all of those of you out there who like the videos on this channel and reshare them, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And for those of you who are new to this channel, if you like the videos on this channel, you would like to see more, please subscribe, and thank you for viewing.